Ones, you went crazy on this one.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy Sirr of the 2020 Podcast LLC. Please say
the LLC.
If you don't do nothing else, do that for me. Could you do that for me? Just please, please. The whole thing, like a tribe called Quest. Yes, I fucked it up now. But anyway, episode squad, because we decided to do this one live.
Hey,
What
Because we want to
up?
interact with people who are watching and are not watching. And if you want to join us, let us know. We got a slot open. You know what I'm saying? If you want to come in and talk with the squad live, we'll definitely holler at you and pick your mind. Now, I'm going to go around introducing people. I got Mr. Stokes himself in the building. Got Eterniti Everlasting, you already know. And Ebony the Goddess. 2 D's, 2 S's. That way you can't fuck it up.
Double D, double S, man.
So today will not be one of those typical days where we just have one topic. We stay on that topic and we discuss that topic for like an hour and a half. Today we got a few different things because these are kind of current. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in order to interact with people who will tune in or who may not tune in, but anyway, may watch this in the future and leave me death threats or whatever it may be, I figured we could do it here on Facebook. And it saves me a little bit of editing time because the shit is already uploaded on Facebook itself. So I got a couple topics for y'all, man. And we'll go around these in kind of a roundabout order. I got them written down, but I'm gonna go with the first one here. Now, squad, you know we are not a place of judgment, but transparency. It is our favorite motion and favorite, I guess, advocation that we have. So with being transparent, I want to talk about OnlyFans for just a second, just a little bit. So in case you don't know, we are always advocating for passive income, you know, extra streams of revenue. But it seems like when it comes to OnlyFans, it's like have any other income but OnlyFans. Now I get it. People on OnlyFans do have their wiles, they have their kinks, they have their explicit, you know what I'm saying, content. I get that. 1,000%. Right. But I feel like we can't just shun OnlyFans. The reason I say so is this. Look, it's a way to make money. And if you see some of these receipts that I've seen people, that's right, Aaron. So if you see some of these receipts that I've been seeing posted on the Twitter, you would give it a second look too. So I posed a question to Squad. 2 questions, I'll say. My first question is, would you start an OnlyFans? Honestly. And I'm going to flip that question. Could you talk to someone or could you be with someone who's an avid OnlyFans content creator? So I'm going to start with you. I'm going to flip this because I want to, usually we start with the women, so I'm going to save Eb for last. But I'm going to start with you, brother. Would you have an OnlyFans?
Yes and yes, to both questions, honestly. You know, one thing about it, man, is that it, like you said, it's a source of income. In terms of dating someone who had an OnlyFans, especially if they're an avid content creator, I would expect to be a part of that content. You know, if that makes sense. And like, and I mean, legitimately, I think that, you know, if I dated someone with an OnlyFans and we were creating content together, I'm about to do everything to turn that into a business. I mean, because you can make serious funds from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know women who literally went from working in the grocery store to 8 months later buying a Tesla because they done made 6 figures from an OnlyFans account just by, you know, showing off their breasts or doing whatever the case may be. And I'm not saying that you have to do that, but I mean, because truthfully, when OnlyFans started, it was a thing where, you know, anybody that was a fan of whatever you did, I don't care if you were an artist or if you made music, you wanted to release exclusive content. It's basically a Patreon style account that people just kind of flipped into like a sex thing. And yes, there are a ton of sex workers that took advantage of the OnlyFans train when the pandemic hit. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I've heard the cons and people saying things like, you know, that's not you know, it's not a viable source of income, or it's not this and it's not that. Bro, listen, anytime a 20-year-old can go get a $3,500 surgery and not like flinch at it because she knows she's finna make that back in 2 days, that is that is strong, bro. I'm sorry, it just is. Like, until you give me a con beside, like, I can understand, you know, if you got kids and you're making content and you're afraid of people finding out about it, because that has happened. You know, you got like educators and people like that are in public arenas that had OnlyFans and they got found out and XYZ and so on and so forth. But at the same time, it's almost like, why would our educators have to have an OnlyFans to begin with? You know, pay them enough. Maybe they wouldn't have to supplement the income. So yeah, bro. Like, I'm all for it. I host a whole damn podcast about sex and kink in relationships. Like, I'm all for being positive in whatever it is that you want to do. And if you just choose to have a banging ass body and you want to use that to make some money, we all know that sex sells in any form or fashion. I don't care how you portray it. I just don't have an issue with it.
Let me ask you a follow-up questions to one of the statements you made. You said that you'd expect at some point to be brought into the fold, into the content. What if they said, you know what, this is kind of my brand? Or let me give an example. Maybe they started it before y'all met, you know?
Oh yeah.
What if they were like, this is kind of me, you know what I'm saying? This is kind of my niche. I'm gonna kind of keep it my way for now. Would you be open to that as well?
I would be open to it, but so the only caveat that I have to that is that if you're making boy-girl content, like if she were doing porn basically, and you're making boy-girl content, and we're talking about seriously, you know, moving forward and doing things of that nature, I think that would be the only time that I say I would want to be brought into the fold. Outside of that, like, if that's your baby and that's what you're doing to make your money, yo, like, I ain't trying to infringe on you. Do your thing. You know, if you might have, you know, 100,000 subscribers that only want to watch you make solo content. Great. Do your thing. I don't have issues with that. I don't think I have issue with it either way. I was just saying in the sense of, I think when it comes to boy-girl content, and I'm strictly speaking on like the sex aspect of it, because most of the OnlyFans accounts that I have seen are sex-based. They are sex workers. Not all, just most. And so I think that that's where I mean when I say I'd want to be brought into the fold. You know, I know somebody with an OnlyFans that's like a top earning like person, and it's just her and her dude, and that's all they do is make content. Like, I think that's legit. So, hey.
Get it in. Aaron Clark, he brings up a valid point here, bro. Bro said, if you got the gifts for it, strike while the iron is hot. I agree with that, bro. Just like with any sort of entrepreneurial idea, if you feel like, hey, I got something that people is going to pay for, go for it. I'm not tripping. I've seen, like you said, Buck, I know a couple people who actually have an active account, and I've subbed to them, and they find creative ways to not show or divulge who they are. They have an alias. They wear a mask. Hell, I seen one lady who wears a balaclava, like the full mask with just the mouth and the eyes out, and she going ham. You know what I'm saying? So it's ways around it, and as far as the shaming part where people are getting people fired and stuff, I agree with you, bro. If teachers were getting what they were supposed to be getting, this wouldn't be an issue. You know what? I can't even say that. I can't even say that. I retract that statement. Because hell, even if I was making $100,000 a year, all my bills was paid, but I found out that people just like to look at my feet and was paying $5,000 for feet pictures, I'd still do it too. I wouldn't do it out of necessity. I would just genuinely like showing niggas my feet.
That is like that's what I like to call fun income. You know what I'm saying? Like we all have like your dailies that you go to like knock out your bills, but you can use that extra money to put that into a savings account or use it for something, else, and then like go do whatever you want to do with your OnlyFans money and just like ball out with it. So I mean, hey, yo,
facts.
Like Aaron said, man, strike while the iron's hot. Do what you do. I'm for it, bro. Like I'm for it.
Oh God, Ebony, what you think, girl? Same questions to you. Would you have an OnlyFans?
That's what you said you was gonna do. Okay, so just to give everybody feedback. I am the mother of two. So from my point of view, I go into the category where he said he understood. I shy away from things of that nature because I plan on being very successful. So I know as a woman, as a person of color, as a mother, as so many things, we're always attacked sexually. It's always some type of sex scandal, some type of picture, some type of video. It's always something that always comes out of nowhere. And that's even though everybody has sex, even though there's so much different content online, when you're a person in a particular type of power position or a successful position, you're always cut down through something sexual. It's always sexual. So I personally shy away from, like, I'm the type of person, I don't like to take pictures. I don't like to do videos. It's not that I don't like doing it. It's just the risk that I take. I don't know who I'm sending this to, what they plan on doing with it, if they're keeping it, what they could do in the future with it, if something could happen between both of us and then they have a vendetta. You never know. So I'm really careful about putting certain type of things out in the atmosphere because, say for instance, something I took 10 years ago could resurface in 30 years and my kids are grown and they see it. You know what I'm saying? It could, hell, somebody might send it to my mom. I don't know. Somebody could send it to my dad out of spite. I don't know. But just thinking about those type of things, I shy away from those things. Personally, I keep anything dealing with sexual connotation personal. I don't know, but I do apply to people that do it because just like he said, I'm watching so many people that I liked on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram. They're blowing up just because of the extra income that they're getting from OnlyFans. And now they're in a position where they don't have to work their 9 to 5 because the income that they've made just over the pandemic could really carry them for the next few years if they really wanted to. So I applaud the people that do it, but me personally, I can't do it. Now in regards to somebody, I don't know if I could date somebody like that. It's not that I would judge them, it's how the people around me would judge me because I'm with them. And I'm one of those people. I do care. Now, I'm not talking about just anybody. I mean the people that's closest to me. I care about their opinion about things. I'm the type of person that I trust myself, but I also need that support. So I'm really careful with the type of people that I keep in my circle. So if I really care about what you think and you say something negative about something, I'm going to hold what you said to a high standard just because I know you. So if there's a stigma that goes with that person based on what that person said, I am going to listen, and it is going to affect how I see that person. So it could mess up what we have going. It depends on the person, though. I can't say that because if it's my mom, mama, you don't know what you talk about. But if it's my bestie since kindergarten, oh yeah, I might have to look at it again. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So I go back and forth with that.
Can I play devil's advocate for just a second?
Go for it.
So, Ebony, what I hear is if your mate was making $100,000 in 6 months, but your best friend from kindergarten had something to say about it, you would care?
Because I value her opinion. Because I've been with her. I know who she is. I've known her way longer than the man. Yes.
Man, I wouldn't give a damn. I'm gonna be real. I mean,
so,
I respect that.
But for me, like I said, I already know I'm going to be successful. So I don't care how successful somebody that approaches me is.
Mm.
So I think it was like a week or two ago when I had watched something on Instagram where D.L. Hughley was saying something about a mom. She made $150,000 a month doing OnlyFans. Now she had the thing was she initially just started taking these racy pictures. She's never nude in them. And that's the thing. I think there's that distinction when it comes to like the things that OnlyFans have, because like you can be on there and not show anything, like you said, like feet, you know what I'm saying? And you give those out, when you got sandals on. So like it could be like that versus just like, having somebody who's actually out there, male and female, sex work. The only thing that like I could be, so I probably wouldn't do it, but like I wouldn't mind somebody else who was doing it. Like Buck said, like it had to be something where like you're not gonna randomly just be, boy on girl, like out there. You're not gonna do all that. Like, I mean, and if that's what your thing is, then shit, like I just need to go ahead and get on this juice fast real quick so that we can both look acceptable in this one picture. So but everything else, like if like you said, it, she has a niche where it's just her, she's doing her shit. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you need this extra light here? Like, what else do you need to kind of help out from here? Because like I think it's getting to the point where it doesn't make sense to shame somebody for being sexual anymore, because like you got here by your mama and your daddy doing what they did. So, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times that's how people just feel like all messed up in the inside, because they're trying to be something that they're not, or trying to act like that. And I think that's honestly why the divorce rate's high too, because people say that they need this good girl, but really they need that freak that's also a support system as well. So that's my whole thing, like being honest with yourself. And the only thing that with the OnlyFans thing that I worry about is like people having those remorse. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay for those people who aren't necessarily showing anything. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but you know what I mean? Like it's hard to get rid of, digital stuff, data. So like, say for instance, if you are 20 and then after that you decide that you want to do something else, then it's held against you. You know what I mean? And it's not because you may not have any regrets about it, but the way that that society treats you may be something detrimental. And so that's the only thing that I would ever worry about, just because it's not something where, it's not something that I would really care, especially if, like going back to that one story, the lady was making $150,000 and the Catholic school kicked her kids out of the school. She was like, all right, well, I guess I'll go to this other school with this other money that I was making. And it was funny because nobody like if it's such a holier than thou thing, how do you know that she's on OnlyFans as well? So there's just a little bit of the whole stereotype and things like that. And so it's just one of those things, man. Like I as long as you are aware of your consequences or what may come in the future, like Like, so if you're trying to be, you know, something political, this may get you out of that. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, if somebody finds your OnlyFans, and even if you're not doing anything, you know what I mean? The world hasn't changed enough for that all to be accepted, and the you know, the notations that go along with it.
We just had a reality star from a reality show as president of this country for the last 4 years.
But that was a white man.
Who was married to a nude model? I don't care. Who was married to a nude model?
That was a white man. White people get away with so much more stuff than what we do. There was a dude in Tampa that just got fired for saying nigga. A black man that got fired from the police office for saying nigga. They shooting and killing us, and they just getting, you know, paid leave.
But the system has never been for us. So I think that. But what I'm saying is that. So, yeah, you have a point when you say that. But if it's going to be against us anyway, why am I going to let this bag slip? Because I'm going to have to fight for that position for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. So if I spend 10 months and I'm making $150,000 a month, I done made a meal and a half within a year. So if I go work for your measly ass job that ain't paying me but $50,000 for the entire year, and I just made $1.5 million, guess what? I'm gonna be okay.
Yeah,
and I'll find something. I'll find something because realistically, when you made that money, when people don't want to hire you or don't want to put you in an arena with that much money, you can make shit happen for yourself.
I completely agree with you. That's that FU. That's that FU money. Like that's like, oh okay. Yeah. You don't want to give me a loan for the house? Don't worry, I got it. Let me go shake something real quick. Let me go ahead and put this nurse outfit on. I get that, but like if you're calling,
house in 2 months.
Yeah, but if your calling is to do something like that, you know what I'm saying, and that can deter you from doing that, or like say for instance, it's a 20-year-old and she wants to be able to get into this medical school. Now all of a sudden, that may be something that's taken into consideration against her, or maybe, you know, of course she's still gonna be able to be a doctor. Not like somebody gonna take her, somebody gonna take that money, but you know what I'm saying? And that may deter what her goal is by doing that. You know what I mean?
I respect that, but I guess the way that I look at it is that because it's so widespread now, that it becomes, because that content is more accessible now. Maybe that's the issue. You know, like when you talk about the digital age, because I mean, you would think about how many women have stripped to pay themselves through law school, or to go get that doctorate, or to go do this and go do that. Is the difference being that what they're doing is centralized and it's in one location, and only people in that certain area know what she do and who she is, as opposed to her having this national attention? Like, how do you feel like that's different?
So a lot of times I think there's, although it may even be a false sense of security, it's a security that like, okay, there's not cameras here. There's not this. So whatever happens, whatever transaction happens between you and what happens in that club, for the most part, they think stays in that club for the most part. Like, of course, word gets out, but like if you move across the country, ain't nobody gonna know shit about you. But if you go OnlyFans, people in Timbuktu know what you've been doing.
Right. That's worldwide.
Because I mean, people use social media to promote anything that they do, even if it's stripping. We know when you post a picture in the lingerie with the lockers in the background, we know what you did, or we know what you're doing.
Not the lockers.
So I can move across the country. You know, he or she can move across the country. They can try to wipe their social media clean, but once it's on the internet, it's on the internet. Anything can be found. I don't care if it's an OnlyFans or if it's you posting you enlaced with your ass out from a strip club. If you post it, it's gonna happen. It doesn't necessarily have to be an OnlyFans. So I think that's where I'm just trying to make that point.
I think in this situation, I think because OnlyFans is the fad right now, I think that's why it's so scrutinized. It's like, you remember when violent video games first came out?
Yep.
Well, not first came out, like when they were first being reviewed by parents. Violent video games have been out forever, but this particular brand is under review right now because that's the one that everybody says. And like you said, Buck, OnlyFans started out as just strictly how can I access this content only. That's all it was. But then people turned it into something else. So if I may take a couple steps back, I feel exactly where Ebony was coming from now that I review it that way, because being a woman, being a Black woman, having a fellow Black woman who knows your goals, knows your alignment, who may know that this OnlyFans is just a means to an end, no matter how successful it might be, if they feel like it could be detrimental to your dream at the end, I can see why that person could have more weight with me versus the money. I'm brought to the statement that all money ain't good money. So I can see how, like, if I'm trying to be a particular something, that a Black woman that was on OnlyFans trying to be a senator could get, I could see that shit on Fox News right now.
Right.
And I can see how everybody could come for them. So, but then again, I get what you're saying too, but if they gonna cast me out regardless, fuck them. So I get, it's like two extremes.
I can see what I can see what you're saying in that sense, but and maybe I just misconstrued what she said. I was under the impression that she was saying that if somebody she was dating had an OnlyFans, she would take her friend's word. See, it's different if it's me, and you know I got somebody in my ear that I've known forever. But she was talking about somebody she would date. She would take their opinion over the person that she's dating and what they're doing.
Out of context too, though. I said I would take their opinion into consideration. That's the difference. It would make a difference in my overall opinion, but it would not be the basis to my full what I come to the conclusion of. Like, let me give you an example. So y'all know I was in a domestic violence situation. For the longest time, the reason why I stayed in it was because I didn't listen to anybody. People tried to tell me what was going on, and I didn't listen. So now that I understand that was coming from a place of love, now I understand how to listen to what people are saying and know if you're being really loving in it, or if you actually just trying to control somebody else's life, or, you know what I'm saying, put your, right, exactly. So I know for a fact that she gonna ride or die for me, whether I'm still with them or not. But if she say some real nigga shit, I'm gonna listen to what she say, and I'm gonna think about that shit and meditate on it. And if I come to the same conclusion that she comes to, that's where my decision will be made.
I get what so Ebony, I think you're saying, like, so because you're in the relationship and you're like in the eye of the storm, so sometimes you need another perspective outside of your own. So I get where you're coming from, where it's like, okay, it's cool to be able to have certain people, and not everybody's opinion matters in those situations.
Exactly.
But you know what I'm saying? If like if there's a certain situation where you're not in a good place, or you know, maybe like, okay, give an example. So say for instance, he's doing OnlyFans and he just slanging, and then all of a sudden he like, so your like your rule may be like, listen, you can't, like, when it comes to girl on boy stuff, it's got to be just you and him. But he goes outside of that and he's like, well, babe, it's just for this money. And it may be something where it's more of a disrespectful thing because of the fact that he's using that maybe as like a reason rather than, you know what I mean? And there may just be more problematic stuff that goes along with it. But I get, and then you may be like, well, it's because he said this is going on for, you know, he needs these views, but it may be other stuff. And so that's where your friend steps in and says, hey, you may want to check this. but
exactly.
but it's not to say that her opinion is going to be the one that says, oh, like if Jeremy tells me I need to break up with this girl, I'm not going to just break up with the girl just because Jeremy says so. Jeremy's bringing up his case of like, hey, this is why I'm worried or why I'm concerned, and you may want to take a look at this because I'm seeing it from a different perspective than what you are.
Right. That's how I am now. I used to be so closed off. I felt like I was the smartest person in the world. My ego allowed me to endure things that I shouldn't have. So now I understand that the universe does put people in your path for a reason. So if you're gonna have these people that you claim you love, that you go to war for, that you trust, that you know what I'm saying, that you really got in your path for a reason, then use that help. You know what I'm saying? We weren't put here to do everything by ourselves. So that's how I look at it. I was trying to use this least amount of words as possible, but so my bad for that. But that's what I was meaning.
Right.
I wasn't thinking about it nowhere near as deep as why I just got. So, hey man, I respect it.
I mean, this Jack, I'll be telling you, man.
Bars, nigga. So, all right. Well, that's a pretty good intro with that one. So, I had another topic. You know what I'm saying? Something a little bit more recent, and it kind of gave me the title for this live. My mama said y'all racist. So, to those of you that don't know, Markle, Meg the Princess is what I call her personally. Meg the Princess did an interview with Oprah where she raised some concerns over people stating in the royal family their concerns about how dark Archie's skin color would be. Archie being her child with Prince Harry. And she brought it up on the interview. And people mad, people big mad. People are large mad because they feel like they're painting a scathing light with hearsay on Oprah's platform and thus reaching out to the Black community. And a lot of people feel like this is a leftist agenda to keep racism in play and in talk. I'm gonna be honest with you, nigga. We knew they were racist. I was surprised she got as far as she did. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you. When they was like, yeah, she's biracial and she's marrying the prince, I was like, who? A prince of what? Persia? Because that's been the whitest of white that I've seen ever.
2% milk.
Right. It's to the point where when I'm gonna be honest with you, and I don't mean to sound insensitive to her plight, because it is legitimate fear, to get to somewhere to a certain level and you expect to be above racism, but see that it's in all forms of government and all nationalities, it can be scary. Fuck it, I'm gonna say it can be terrifying, especially with families that powerful. So when she went on Oprah and said her piece, I was like, hope she don't have a car crash, because yeah, I'm gonna leave that there. So I want to offer it to the squad, and we'll start with Wyatt. I want to start with you, bro, because we talk about history a lot and stuff. So, bro, what did you think about this interview and how people are reacting to it?
I think so. First of all, one of the main people that was getting on her case was I think his name was Piers Morgan or something like that. And here's a really fucked up part. So Meghan was, I guess, talking to them. They were talking or whatever. So once Harry came involved, she ghosted him. So then he was the main one leading the pitchforks about how she wasn't shit, how this was going on and everything like that. Which when it was brought up, and that's why they had a Good Morning Britain show, and he was on that show, and he was a host. And so they were he quit, they said, but that's the reason why he's not on there. But yeah, exactly. So like stuff like that where like I think there's a like it's stuff compounded from racial tension. Like because I think at one point, like one of the princes, like maybe the queen's brother or something like that was a Nazi, or somebody was a Nazi in the family, and so like yeah, check shit out. So like because he was the one that was like I think it was during one of the world wars where he was just like, listen, if y'all don't mess with us, we can let y'all go through England, and then when y'all go ahead and start reforming stuff, y'all just let our family still run shit. I may be like a little bit off, but it's something to that extent. But like all of this stuff, like I feel sorry for her because, like you said, I think she came into that whole situation thinking it was going to be like they're above that, like they don't, you know how those, you know how they're people that are like we don't see color, and I think she really thought that like people didn't see color in that situation, but like they definitely saw her motherfucking shadow, but so so like stuff like that is what like I think she was in love, you know what I mean? And like I can relate. Like you be in love, you want to just be like, damn the world, me and this person gonna take it all, all together. But like and for that part, Harry's done a really good job of trying to support her, but you can't fight off a whole country. A whole country. And the thing about what you were talking about, the press and different things like that, like the thing that I think is really crazy, because I've been watching CNN a lot, and CNN was talking about how like the royal family and the press, they have like kind of like a symbiotic relationship where neither one of them can really do things. So they leak stuff to the press so that they can be able to get their version of whatever else is happening now. So, she wasn't hip to game for a little bit because like even they were attacking her when she was pregnant and like, hey, I'm not really feeling good, you know what I mean? But I appreciate it. But then the older brother's wife, when she was pregnant, she would have the same kind of things, and they would show side by side headlines about, well, she's too bossy here, but motherhood is taking a toll on this one, you know what I mean? Or she, you know what I mean? So it's just the same kind of way where they use two different brushes to say the same thing, and it's just because honestly, I think they didn't want a black girl. Like, and she don't even look like she one of them. She's biracial where she can pass off as not necessarily black. So like when we see her, we be like, I didn't know like the first time I saw her was on Suits, and I was just like, okay, cool. And then like on Suits, they had like a dark guy for her dad. I was like, how the hell? That don't really work like that. But like they made a point of it. But like just because she decided to, I think they're really punishing her because they're like, you thought that you were good enough to date this prince, and like we're gonna make shit hard for you. And Harry was like, you could tell Harry was never about like the prince life, to be honest with you, because like he did military service when he didn't have to. Like they were going to give him a cushy little, hey, you stay back here and we'll do the real fighting over there. He was like, nah, man, I want to get in this shit. So like it's a lot of stuff where I feel like they want the royal family to act a certain way, and neither one of them was with that bullshit.
So Aaron said she thought she was a fair-skinned biracial woman and had a close proximity to whiteness here in America because of her skin tone. That was until she was over there, where it's way different because they white. And they're right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you still a nigga. That's what they essentially said. Right. You still a nigga.
You 1% nigga, use nigga. Because yeah. And then they named him Archie. They named the kid Archie, bro. Like, come on, bro. I couldn't help but think about the rapper from back in the day from Atlanta, Archie. Y'all remember Archie? I
think of the comic book. I think of the dude that Archie from the comic book, the Archie comic books. That's what I think. That's the only thing I think about. Like, you gonna name this nigga that? Like, he can't be dark skinned and be Archie. No.
Right.
So, but what are your words on it, bro?
Y'all said something that was funny. You was talking about like being close proximity to white. It's like Americans are Mayo white. They like white bread white. It's two totally different, like ingrained in them. It's different. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't watch the interview because I don't care. Like the amount of shit that real black people and black women have to deal with, and yeah, bro, I'm sorry that you are a Duchess of Sussex and your in-laws hate you. I'm sorry. Our in-laws hate us over here all the time, and we date the same race. The shit happens. I'm sorry. You should have known better. Yeah, that's it. Like, you get to go talk to Oprah about your problem. We just sitting up here trying to talk to Pookie on the corner because ain't nobody else gonna listen to our asses. We in therapy.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't.
Tyler Perry ain't gonna put us up in the house. Tyler Perry is not gonna put us up in no house. I was like,
I'm just being honest, man. I'm just being real. Like, I am so far removed from them type of issues that I just don't care. I don't care. I'm sorry.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
y'all got this one.
Drops the mic. Right, not Pookie.
Razel said not Pookie, bro.
That's like, no, not Pookie now.
Bruh.
Pookie now.
Hey.
Pookie be listening though.
All
Shout
right.
out to the Pookies out there, man. We appreciate y'all. Yeah, what you got for me? What are your
be like,
Oh, I'm even shorter than eternity. They thought she was a fetish. They didn't think that he was really gonna do it, and they didn't think that she was gonna stick. And then when she got married, they tried to push her ass out. This is just another attempt to get her ass out the damn house, man.
Yeah.
that's
That was like, he actually went through it. You know what? Give it a month. Give it a month, Bill. He's not gonna make it. At least he made it. And it was, give her 6. Oh, she's almost out of there. Oh, we got her. She's almost down. She's going. She's oh, damn. She had the baby too. Fuck. We gotta turn it up. She's pregnant.
Yo, no lie.
She was a fetish, bro.
I felt the same thing at first. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna get on here in front. I was like, oh, they gonna break up after he smashed.
Hell yeah.
But nah, he stuck it in now, and I ain't gonna lie, he must be in love. Like, this is about to be extremely fucked up what I'm about to say.
I think we're here. I think we're here. Go ahead.
Oh,
go ahead.
Y'all remember when Leonardo DiCaprio said, sounds like you got you some of that nigga love.
Okay.
That's exactly what I thought when I heard they were getting married. Like, somebody need to find that Leo meme and just post. Look, somebody inbox me a meme of Leo saying the nigga love section, and I will send you some merch from the 2020 podcast. Swear to God. Inbox me and I will send you some merch. But yeah, man, the nigga love, it that's just what it is,
but
bro. Like, I'm gonna say this. That's what I felt. I ain't gonna say that's what it is. I'm gonna say that's what I felt. I felt like, oh, she be fetish.
I mean, because I'm being real here. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm going to order a chocolate chip muffin, and I literally get a chocolate chip in it. Never mind. Okay, continue.
Oh, we're gonna go in percentages. We're gonna go in percentages.
She got
Ancestry.com.
Right. Out of my grandparents, only one is black.
Oh, it's kind of like Tyrese's wife, because he's like, oh yeah. Yeah, Tyrese is being Tyrese is like, yeah, my wife is black. Tyrese is like, my wife is black. And she was like, it's like, oh yeah, she's 23% African. What the fuck? When does that constitute anything? That's still an F.
Yeah. He was on that 1% rule. You on that 1% roll.
Yeah, that drop of Nestle.
Yeah,
There. That's all.
Brazil said it only takes a dab of that milk chocolate.
Hey,
So who knows? Yeah, there she go. I got it.
hey, man.
But yeah, man. It was so funny you fell out the room. But yeah, I feel for her. She's definitely blackballed now. Like if you ain't, it's one thing to accuse somebody of something small, but you just accused the whole royal family. Like, all right, like granted,
maybe they can restart.
They're not
again.
real. Say what, bro?
I said maybe they can restart Suits again. They need some money, so you know they can. And she was really good on that show, though.
Bro, I feel for her. Like I fear for them, and I'm not being funny. I'm being dead ass. I fear for them.
Yeah, that you know, we making jokes and stuff. That I can feel, cause you see what they did to his mom.
Right. So you are already kind of like a black sheep. They just held you close, and now you married a black sheep, and now you blackballed. So, and what my fear is something is going to happen over here, so they can be like,
we didn't do it.
Right.
Our hands
right.
Now if you would have stayed over here with us, and you'd have been the Duchess, then we would have been all right. So now that's going to be able to make sure that everybody in the next couple of generations can go ahead and be like, now y'all understand and y'all need to toe this line. Otherwise, there's going to be some other accidents, some hunting accidents, some fishing, and whatever else they do over there. I don't really think they do a whole lot of hunting fishing.
They do polo. I've been seeing a lot of polo and fox hunt.
Water polo.
But Brittany, what up, girl? Brittany is the owner of the Blackboard podcast. What up, girl? Salute. Aaron brings up a good point. He said, what about the stories that Meghan was actually really liked by the people, just not by the media? And I think that plays into what Wyatt said, that the royal family and the media had like this symbiotic relationship where media wouldn't say nothing against family and the family would, kind of endorse the media. So I could totally see that. I could totally see that because, seeing a fresh face of the people being, brought into the royal family can be appealing. You know what I'm saying? But what's interesting to me is this. This is weird to me. We have all these Disney films about a prince finding this outside ethnic woman and falling in love, and it's all great. But it happens in real life, and motherfuckers get their pitchforks and their torches. That is weird to me. Good point. That's why my mom didn't really let me watch Pocahontas, because she was like, "Oh no, oh no, y'all no."
Yeah, we had to research. She left
like
when she was
like, did not happen like that.
That's why they won't do a live action. That's why they won't do a live action version of Pocahontas, because Kelly type shit going on. So yeah, but like, man, I think it was the people over there, just around the riverbed. But like, I think they really liked her over there just because of the fact that she wasn't somebody that was groomed to be like a person that was going to have like the royal family. Like it was actually genuinely like, I think they liked each other. I think that, she felt like an outcast. He felt like an outcast. They outcasted together. And sorry, Miss Jackson, which is the queen. That's all there was. So
that was a good one.
That's what really happened. And I think he saw how effed up the situation was. Like in his perspective, like he was like, oh man, they look at me a certain way, but they don't really say anything. And then he's like, oh, they actually really treat her bad. That's fucked up. And now they have to leave. You know what I mean? So like he was like, he was an outcast in his white privilege as a royal. And then he's like, oh, this is really fucked up in what happens here. So it is what it is, though, man. Like I hope for the best for him. I hope that podcast works out, whatever they do. I hope she starts working for Tyler Perry and whoever else, and makes it on their own, has their own little story. But yeah, I hope they stay safe too, because now they got crazy. They signed a deal with who was it? Like one of the groups, I think it was. Yeah. One of the streaming ones that they had. Let me look real quick.
Shit.
Yeah, they got one of those.
Protect them at all costs, bro. Because
it was Spotify.
They sent a thing, boy.
They said they signed a deal with Spotify. So
they about to sing.
Well, they did this before the Oprah thing, so I think what they're gonna do, because like Harry ain't crazy. That's why he was like with Oprah. He was telling her, he's like, I'm not gonna name names, but low key, he was like, it's not my. He said that it wasn't his mother or his grandmother, or it wasn't his father. And so to me, that just makes it seem like, why wouldn't you put your brother out there? So that's what it came out to me like, because he's definitely his father's son with, okay, this is my responsibility, this is what I'm going to do. But man, I really hope that they find something that makes them happy, that keeps them fulfilled, and that they one day become the king and queen of England. Archie. That'd be dope. That'd be dope if Archie became like, if there was some horrible tragedy, all the family was wiped out, and then after that you have a half nigga as a quarter. I don't know the percentage. I don't know the percentage.
I think it's like 1/16.
Listen, just whatever he is. But then after
history of Markle as Archie the colored. Archie the colored king.
He comes under his crown. He has a do-rag. God.
Like when you cooking and you put a pinch of salt.
Yeah. You mean that? That's how they cook.
The whole salt bay in that bitch. Yep.
And then we still celebrate him as the first black king of.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, we had a black king. But nah, I'm kidding, y'all. Ashley does bring up a good point. She said, ethnic, all the Disney princesses are white except one. And then I started thinking, shit, you're right. Like I was gonna say, Anastasia was,
but I ain't wanna do it on
on
the live.
Oh damn.
So I just watched. I just watched. I've been, like I said, I work from home, so I watch a lot of movies. So then I watched the Raya and the Last Dragon, and I was just like, well, why is it that like she was like a warrior princess and shit, and like with the Princess and the Frog, all this bitch did was cook, and then got turned into a frog. I was like, fuck up. Like I really just want some better representation. And I like beforehand, I used to be like, oh well, it's just kids movies. But like now that I have a son, now that I see how impactful it is, like it's so important to be able to have kids see themselves as other things, as far as that's concerned. Like, and I don't have any girls, but shit, I mean, that's just a
pretty safe. But
she couldn't. Yeah, that bitch. The only thing she did was cook. And then she kissed a dirty ass frog, thinking that she was gonna get some money. So she hold herself out before OnlyFans.
Hold up, now. I ain't gonna let you disrespect my only black princess.
Hey, did she do it for money? Did she do it for money? Was that the original reason that she did it?
I can't say nothing. That would be another topic.
How dare you?
And we don't even know what race the prince was. Damn, that's a fact. And none of the princesses did anything. And you know what? That's why a lot of, and I don't know why we're shifting gears to Disney. I don't give a fuck, it's my show. But anyway, I recently watched Mulan, and people hated Mulan. But the new Mulan was actually lit.
It's super dope.
It's actually lit. Watched it from start to finish, and I can see why people didn't like it if you wanted to see a recreation of what you saw back then.
Right.
That ain't. They had some strong.
That sounds like people's opinions on Coming to America, though.
I haven't seen it yet. I'm not even gonna front like I.
All
We'll
right.
talk about it. We'll talk about it once you see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll say that for next week. Y'all comment below if y'all want to see us talk about it next week. But yeah. She definitely kissed the frog. That is crazy though. Representation is everything. That's why I was kind of amped when for those who watched WandaVision. When I heard the name Monica Rambeau, I kind of lit up. I was like, oh shit, big character, big black woman. Niggas don't know. So seeing her go through what she went through, and Ashley and I actually had this conversation. There's a couple of reasons I cannot stand Tyler Perry films. One of the main reasons is because the way he treats women. He always feels like a man has to save a woman. I do not understand why he feels that way. I don't know what dark-skinned man hurt him as a child, but he has something against us. And every man that's in there that is protagonist is an like extreme Christian, like extremely Christian. And so I get that's your crowd. I understand that's who you want to appeal to, but your archetype is kind of flawed there. Like, for instance, Wyatt, the movie Mulan, that was no love story. Mm-hmm. No. Excellent film. Why do films having women as a protagonist have to be weak and have to rely on a man? That just kind of stood with me. And so going into his movies now, I can't finish them. I can't watch them because it's like, this is so sexist, he don't even know it. And then the fact that he's displaying this to a Christian crowd, and Christianity is heavily rooted in misogyny, had me kind of messed up on his film. So to anybody that enjoys his films, be great, but just take a moment, take the rose-colored glasses off and sit back and look at the film and just notice how he treats black women. Just asking you to do that for him.
Well, I can tell you one thing about that if you want to elaborate a little bit for a second.
I'm for the bullshit with Tyler Perry. I hate that.
I mean, no, I'm not taking sides. I'm just presenting a couple facts from a few his videos that I've seen. He was just stating how when he was little, I don't know if it was his real dad or his stepdad, but he would put hands on his mom and he felt defenseless because his mom would take beatings from him. So he felt like he wasn't there to protect his mom. So now that's why he has a lot of his characters where the women are being saved by men because of his trauma as a child. I didn't say it was right. I'm not agreeing with it. I was just stating facts. And I'm just saying I understand where he's coming from with it.
And I understand a lot of people write from their traumas and they write their superheroes to come in and save the day. But really, does it have to be super Christian every episode? You know what I'm saying? Every movie, every episode of everything you watch with him? Go ahead, why? You got it, bro.
So what's the black lady that is on the OWN network that she be counseling folks?
Ayana fixed my life.
Her. Yeah, you need to take his ass over there and just go ahead and sit on her couch. I'm tired of seeing this shit. Like no lie. I know he's tried to expand out of his because he's heard those things, and he's like, there was a couple of movies that he did, like I think it was like A Family That Prays, where, you know what I mean? So he has a couple of them that are out of that archetype, but like, you know what I mean? And I just get tired of him dressing up as a woman too. Like it's emasculating as a man. Like you can't be funny as a man, so you have to do, you know what I mean? And then it also, to me, honestly, it takes away those opportunities and those roles for women who can be funny. Because if he can write those actual words and he can be able to give it, then honestly, rather than having one Tiffany Haddish, you could have had 7 by now. So to me, I feel like he plays a role and he plays to his types, but he's doing a better job of making sure that more people get, love, but he also still plays to that demographic, and like he doesn't make us grow to be able to understand him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like with the power that he has, like, he should be able to say, not just like he did with the movies, where he used to come out with movies every Easter, and it used to be like the Christian movies, and I'm good with those, but also like he gave us a higher level of black cinema, but he doesn't challenge the community to do better when it comes to, you know, making sure that there's not those gatekeepers, because he doesn't use a whole lot of like new names. He uses already people that are already established. Like, it's great for them to have that, but you know what I'm saying? Now he does do a better job of it. But beforehand, he was just like, oh, give me Regina King. Give me those. There's about 5 black women that were in Hollywood
in all of his films,
and all of them, and they were either like the auntie, they were either the sister, or they were the main character, or they were that nosy ass neighbor that had something else to say. That was it.
I'm only laughing because it's true.
That's why I'm laughing.
So, and Ashley said he doesn't challenge himself to grow either. I agree. And I feel like he got discouraged. I don't know if you guys remember. He did a movie called Alex Cross. Now, Alex Cross is the James Patterson character. James Patterson writes these murder mysteries. If you ever seen Along Came a Spider, or Seven, or, you know, those murder mysteries from like the 90s where Morgan Freeman was playing characters in them, those are James Patterson books. He co-wrote those. So I get that he didn't do a great job in that film and went back to doing what he does as a writer director. But bro, get your ass back out there, man. Like I legit want to see him try some other roles. That just wasn't the role for you. You don't see
it was not.
You just can't be like, you can't be an action star after you've been in a dress like the movie like 2 years ago. Like, you don't see Tom Cruise in that shit. You don't see Denzel Washington. You don't see The Rock. You don't see nobody who's trying to be an action star in no damn dress. And like, you can't, like, because people's memories are not that short that they don't remember Medea. And you over here talking about how you doing, and then the next breath you want to be punching the shit out of somebody. You can't do it. You can't do it. And like that's it.
I'm sorry, the comments got me. We got Renzel saying pure trash. Well, Aaron said I actually like the Alex Cross movie, and then immediately after that, you got Renzel saying pure trash. Alex Cross. I'm sorry, the comments are it right now. Ooh, good point, Brittany. Martin Lawrence did do Big Mama's House, and he was excellent in Bad Boys as well.
But
I think
he did Bad Boys before he did Big Mama's House, though.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I was
good point. Good point.
And
so he was already established as a comedian. He was already kind of established in a comedian in the action role. And then he did something else. And then, I ain't trying to be funny. Yeah, he did do Big Mama's House. But even in Big Mama's House, he was a damn cop.
And he was a man. He still was a man in there. And
he was a cop.
And so then the other part is like with Big Mama's House, and that, like, he's a comedian, and like there's a difference between Bad Boys and like this James Patterson movie or those James Patterson books, because they're supposed to be taken like super serious. Like I think he did like The Sum of All Fears and everything like that. So there's always somebody blowing something up. Like I think Jack Reacher too. So like there's always something where somebody's blowing up, somebody's doing something like that. That you can't have that. You was just in a dress 2 years ago. Let me not forget that.
I think there's the only time someone could actually pull that off is if they're actually not doing comedy. The reason I say that, I don't know if anybody ever seen this movie, but I'm a big Matthew McConaughey fan. He had this movie called The Dallas Buyers Club. It was about him selling HIV medication to those who were positively infected. Jared Leto was in that film as a transgender woman. And Jared immediately went after that into, I think it was what was that remake of that movie? I can't think, but he was one of the more serious roles. I think it is all in how you approach the role and your caliber of acting. Because as much as I hate him as the Joker, Jared Leto's dope as an actor. Like overall, he is absolutely phenomenal. Went from Muddy to Training Day. That's true. That's true. And that's why I kind of swinging gears a little bit talking about Martin. When people didn't like Bad Boys 3, I took it kind of personal because they were saying, "Oh, Martin is fat." Nigga, Bad Boys 1 was in the 90s.
And the other one was like 15 years. Like 15 years.
Bro,
That nigga
like
was old. That nigga was old. He like Martin wasn't gonna get in shape. Will is like, oh, I'm gonna stay in shape. Martin was like, bro, I'm here for this check. Let me go ahead and get this. Let me go ahead and get out. I'm gonna tell these jokes. I'm gonna say what I need to say. Like this was a Will Smith movie, featuring Martin Lawrence. That
it low key was because he was definitely the more active. I'll be honest with that. But I still love Bad Boys 3. I think it's still great. People hated it, but I thought it was dope. And the twist at the end was pretty good too.
Because they were respecting Bad Boys 2, and Bad Boys 2 was like lightning in a bottle. You're not gonna be able to beat that.
I don't know what the hell. It was like everything was on coke on that movie, bro. It was lit. From start to finish.
Michael Bay,
that movie was bullets and pills and cocaine, bro.
Yeah. Michael Bay been trying to
I don't even remember villains, but Johnny Tapia and Thanos are my two favorite. Oh man. Duran's a terrible Joker, great actor. I agree, brother. I agree. So you mind
hold on, Leto was a terrible Joker?
You talked about like not remembering villains. Not even, like I think about the Johnny Tapia character. I think about the damn Russian. Bruh, I don't care what he play in, he is always going to be, let's kill some fucking Russians. Like he is always going to be that guy.
Exactly
for
what you're
me.
talking about.
He is the narrator on Until Dawn, and all I can see is him being the Russian mob boss from Bad Boys 2. Like
he's been playing that role for forever, bro. Like he was on Blacklist and he played that same role, like literally. And in Constantine, that's the same thing he was playing there, but he was the devil.
Oh,
but he kept the same kind of
Somebody put that on the shirt. They will next time. I tell you what, people are asking us to talk about Coming to America 2. Have you guys seen it? Like all three of you?
Yes.
Ebony, have you seen it?
Yes. I didn't want to spoil it for you.
I don't mind because it's.
Listen. I ain't trying to be funny. I mean, we could talk about it now, but then we want them to tune in next time. So I think we should do. I think that could be like
momentum.
The tribe is spoken. Well,
I want you to watch it. I want you to watch it because I need you to know where we coming from and what we talking about. But the same way that Wyatt is talking about lightning in the bottle with Bad Boys 2, it's a whole lot of people talking a whole bunch of shit about coming to America. Like it was supposed to be what we got in the damn. When did first Coming to America come out? Like early 90s or is it like the 80s?
Late 80s.
88.
It was like 88.
Yeah.
Wow.
30 years later. You're not about to capture that again. But I'm gonna pause that. I'm gonna pause that because you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
You'll see. It's just like the great analogy, like we were talking about. It's like Bad Boys 2 versus Bad Boys 3. It's just like Coming to America versus Coming to America 2. Like it, there's stuff that plays homage to it. There's stuff that honestly. Like some of it could be better, but then some of it is just like, okay, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
these old ass niggas is okay. I'm not gonna go into it, but yeah, it's
Okay.
If you ain't watched it by Sunday, I'm bringing
Yeah.
my phone because I got an app. We gonna watch that shit Sunday.
Okay, I got Prime. We in the
yeah,
hoop.
he already, and we stay on
I done paid
Amazon.
blood and everything.
Uh-huh.
So with
Right.
that
I
being
ain't gotta
said,
pay for shit.
ballers. But we're gonna put a pin in that, and then I think this is a good time to close it out for a night because I ain't want to go over an hour, but damn it, y'all came in here and started talking shit, so we had to keep it going. So shout out to everybody that tuned in. I tell you what, to those of y'all who in Radio Land who still here, shoot me your address in my DM and I'll send you something just for tuning in tonight. How about that? And y'all can meet us here next week, same time. You hear me? So that being said, this has been your boy, Sirr, Eternity Everlasting, Ebony the Goddess, Mr. Stokes himself, Squad Goals, and we are
Squad goals.
out.
Squad.